The moment you turned 18, the state sent your mandatory marriage notice. As you sat there wondering who your first wife should be, your homeroom teacher Gu Qianru called. Student Chin, are you skipping college?
Yes.
I want to dedicate my energy to human reproduction. Ambitious, Gu Qianru praised. So many guys just slack off now, ignoring the national policy of taking one wife every year. Totally selfish. Guys like you who actually want to participate are rare. Since you do, please come down and fill out a survey. The state will match you with a proper wife. Sure. You walk down the familiar path to the school building. There she was, your elegant teacher waiting right outside the office. Gu Qianru offered a polite smile. Come in, Chin. She sat with her knees together, leaning over to grab a file. To save us both some time I will ask, and you answer. Sound good? Yes. First question. How do you prefer to beat your wife? Slaps, punches, kicks, or weapons? Gu Qianru furrowed her brow, trying to keep her voice completely neutral. I do not beat my wives. Her body jolted, her eyes locked onto you, full of absolute shock. Please answer, honestly, Chin, no need to hide it. The law allows husbands to strike their wives, up to 3 broken ribs, at a time, or just 1 broken thigh bone. If you enjoy hitting women, the state will assign you a willing partner. It works best for everyone. You thought about it for a second. I plan to marry someone I actually like. And why would I ever hurt someone I like? Flawless logic. Gu Qianru was completely speechless. Growing up, she always heard that beating your wife was just a fun rainy day activity. She accepted it. Sometimes men just need to blow off some steam. Alright, next question. What would you do on your wife's birthday? Option A, slap her. Option B, remind her how hard men work and demand gratitude. Option C, wish her a happy birthday. I choose C.
What?
Gu Qianru was stunned again. Almost every man on Earth chose option B. After all, humanity only survives because men work so hard to reproduce. Women absolutely owed them gratitude. Sending a birthday wish was unheard of. But the mere thought of receiving a birthday wish from a husband made her heart flutter. A magical feeling that would be. Her eyes welled up. She looked right at you. Her gaze suddenly incredibly tender. Before today, she barely knew you. She just thought you were insanely handsome. Now she saw the beautiful soul underneath. For the very first time, Gu Qianru felt nervous around you. She bit her lip, tucking her hair back, desperately trying to look perfect. Next question. A woman you do not like gives you a wildly expensive gift and asks you out. What do? Option A, keep the gift and slap her. Option B, keep the gift and say let us just be friends. Or option C, reject the gift entirely. Why is slapping always an option? I choose C. If I am not interested, I will not take her stuff. That is just basic manners. Gu Qianru shot to her feet, totally floored. Did you really just refuse free stuff? Your soul was as pure as fresh winter snow. She wondered if you were truly a flawless angel walking among mortals. On this question, proud men usually chose the first option, arguing that a slap was the best way to reject an ugly toad trying to punch above her weight. Polite men chose the second option to save face. Nobody ever picked C. It had been decades since anyone picked C. After all, taking a gift did not equal a yes. Guys, taking free things was perfectly normal. Is something wrong? You looked up, your eyes instantly caught by her rather impressive figure. The angle from your chair was pretty incredible. A true masterpiece of nature. Completely flawless from every single angle. Your moral compass leaves me speechless. Her 24-year-old heart, untouched for so long, trembled like a leaf. Gu Qianru stared at you, totally mesmerized by your mystery. She felt a sudden, overwhelming urge to dive right into your clear, beautiful eyes and swim around in them forever. Not really. I just think it makes logical sense. When that bright, boyish smile spread across your stunning face, Gu Qianru completely lost whatever composure she had left. She grabbed her chest, totally panicked. Chin, just fill out the rest yourself. I need to step out. She bolted from the office like the building was on fire. She hid in the bathroom for 20 minutes, stumbling onto the street, still reeling. Then a heavy, bitter wave of sorrow hit her. A wild thought took root in her mind. Imagine how perfect life would be with a guy like that. But she had no house, no car. She was absolutely unworthy. The harsh reality hit her. She wandered the sidewalks like a total zombie, completely lost in her own misery. Passing a flower shop, she froze. Gathering every ounce of her courage, she walked inside. The owner smiled at her. Need some flowers? Gu Qianru clenched her jaw. What flowers do people use for marriage proposals? Meanwhile, you were reading the next question. There are 5 body types: pear, strawberry, apple, rectangle, and hourglass. Which do you prefer? Hourglass. Next question. Do you prefer your women in skirts or pants? Skirts. Black, white, or sheer stockings. I like all of them. You sat alone in the office, happily answering every single question. Since the whole point was to match your exact desires, you were having a great time. If only school exams were this fun, you would actually enjoy studying. Just as you checked the final box and closed the folder, the door flew wide open. Gu Qianru stood there, gripping a massive bouquet of blazing red roses, her face completely flushed. Before you could even speak, she dropped to one knee, holding the roses high. Chin, please marry me. I know I have no house, no car, and my dowry is only 180,000. But I swear I will spend my entire life making you happy. Complete shock washed over your handsome face. Suddenly, a robotic voice echoed in your head. Proposal detected. The many wives system is now active. Congratulations, you have been granted superhuman strength. Instantly, a massive surge of raw power exploded from deep within your chest. It flooded every single muscle. You felt absolutely invincible. You closed your eyes, completely lost in the incredible rush of energy. When you did not answer right away, Gu Qianru lost her nerve. She slumped to the floor, totally defeated. I knew it. I am not good enough for you. I am so sorry for acting so crazy. I accept. Your voice cut through the silence perfectly. You knelt down and gently lifted her chin. Teacher, I accept. You can be my very first wife. A massive wave of absolute joy crashed into Gu Qianru. She looked up at you, completely unable to process it. Really? Really? Tears began streaming down her beautiful face. Thank you. Thank you so much. Here, take my bank card. Keep it forever. You do not even have to give me an allowance. I can deliver food after work. Her teaching salary was pathetic. She truly thought she would die alone. Now, she was marrying a literal angel. The excitement was rushing to her head, making the whole room spin. You can keep your bank card. As a man, the government already pays me $20,000 in welfare. I have plenty of cash. Absolutely not. Have you never heard the warning? Women turn evil when they get rich. Men have to control the budget. It is the only way to keep a family safe. Ignoring your protests, Gu Qianru forcefully shoved the card into your pocket. We are getting married. Everything is shared now. You pulled her close, wrapping your arms around her waist, staring at her soft lips. Money is not enough, you know. Then what do you want? Ask for anything. You can even have my soul. I do not want your soul. I just want you. You leaned in close. Realizing what was happening, her face flushed red as she closed her eyes. Looking at her gorgeous face, you decided not to hold back. You were 1 centimeter away, close enough to feel her warm breath. Suddenly, she pressed a single finger against your lips. We have to marry first. Otherwise, everyone will call me a piece of trash. I refuse to ruin your pure innocent reputation just for my own selfish desires. All right then, let us grab our IDs and meet at the registry office. How does that sound? Whatever you say, Chin. Still calling me Chin? She blushed. Okay, hubby. Good girl, teacher. Why are you still calling me your teacher? All right then, my sweet Qianru. After you two parted ways, Gu Qianru rushed straight home. Realizing she had never even bought you a gift, guilt gnawed at her. Bursting with excitement, she finally pulled out her phone to call her best friend Qian Qian. I am getting married. Girl, are you dreaming again? You have no house, no car, and zero money. What guy would ever marry you? Yun Qian laughed, her voice dripping with obvious superiority. The dating market was brutal. If a woman did not hustle for a house, a car, and a heavy dowry, she would die completely alone. They had been friends since high school, but while Gu Qianru chose teaching, she chose music. The education industry was absolutely booming right now. For teachers, finding a solid job was fairly easy. Meanwhile, Qian Qian was stuck in limbo. She failed every singing audition she ever tried, and now survived by working random odd jobs just to pay her grocery bills. I am dead serious. It is real. We are making it official today. What kind of gifts do guys like? I really want to buy him something. Having a husband changed everything. The sky and the streets looked exactly the same, but Gu Qianru felt entirely reborn. Her whole world was brand new. Now she had someone to share her mornings and hold her at dusk, someone to genuinely care for her. Wait. This guy does not even care that you are broke? My god, karma is real. Congratulations, sister. I am so happy for you. Anyway, guys usually really love gaming. Buy him a 5090. What is a 5090? It is an incredibly powerful graphics card. The games run super smooth. Perfect. I will check it out. Qian Qian, I finally found my guy. You need to hurry up too. Got it. Bye. Yun Qian hung up the phone. She was thrilled for her best friend, but a sharp wave of jealousy hit her. Everyone wanted a family. She desperately dreamed of finding a man to build a quiet, peaceful life with. Unfortunately, looking at her current bank account, she could never afford to raise a husband. If she tried, she would have to settle for someone missing a leg, or totally out of their mind. Wait, is that what Qianru found? She almost called back to stop her, but then remembered how rare men were anyway. Any guy with a pulse struts around, like a proud rooster. My best friend has nothing but her looks. She is lucky any man wants her, so why ruin her mood? It just hurts knowing the gorgeous Gu Qianru must settle for a flawed guy. She could not help but sigh. Mom, where is my ID card? What for? To get married. Weren't you strictly single? Her parents dropped their handiwork, eyes wide with absolute shock. They had nagged her countless times about finding a husband, searching endlessly. I changed my mind. I believe in marriage now. With that simple reply, Gu Qianru frantically pulled open drawers to search. She was terrified of being late. Making her future husband wait even 1 minute would be a total sin. Ah, here it is. Pulling her ID from a box inside the wardrobe, her mother desperately asked what was happening. Gu Qianru quickly explained, emphasizing he was not after money. I told him the dowry was 180,000. He never argued. He is definitely the one. No way, her mother said firmly, watching her daughter's glowing face. 180,000 is way too low. Every boy is an angel fallen to earth. We cannot mistreat him. Even if I borrow cash, we are giving him 300,000. She handed the ID card over. Finding a good man is rare. Go get that marriage certificate today. Once signed, hurry up and seal the deal tonight. Do not let him slip away. Seal the deal? Goose Chanru was utterly blinded by sudden romance. She truly never thought that far ahead. At her mother's words, her face burned and her heart raced. 24 years single, and tonight was the big premiere. I need to change clothes. She frantically opened her closet, her brain spinning wildly. What should she wear? Pants or a dress? A dress would definitely make things much easier for her husband. Should she wear perfume? Would he prefer a natural scent or something floral? Pantyhose or cotton? Socks? Should she let her hair down? And what color lipstick should she wear? Dark or bright? Wait, he is only 18. Will he even know what to do? Should she take the lead, maybe buy a movie to learn together? Too many wild questions left her heart in a tangled mess. Meanwhile, her mother finally straightened her outfit. She combed her hair, put on her glasses, grabbed some boxed milk and cookies, and marched upstairs. She really hated doing this, but she had no choice. Bringing in a son-in-law with a tiny dowry would make her a neighborhood joke. Sister, what brings you here? Come in! Come on in! Seeing her rival holding cheap gifts, son Yulian felt absolutely thrilled. She did not care about the snacks at all. She only cared about her ego. You see, they were the second wife and the first wife. They both married the exact same man. Gu Qianru's father. Yulian, my sweet girl is getting married. We want to give a 300,000 dowry, but we are short 120,000. Could you possibly lend us the cash? Having never borrowed money before, Gu's mother tried desperately to keep her voice steady. If she refused, they would just mortgage the house. Either way, they could not mistreat their new son-in-law. Of course, since you finally asked, how could I refuse? Without skipping a single beat, son Yulian transferred the money over. Boys these days have incredibly high standards, though. Are the house and car ready yet? No, we will figure that out later. The groom did not demand them. No house, no car, just a plain dowry. Son Yulian almost burst into laughter. How incredibly pathetic. As the second wife, she had been looked down on for years. She waited forever to watch her rival become a total joke. Now was her chance. Sister, if you need more charity, just let me know. Offering some perfectly condescending goodbyes, she shoved the woman out. Son Yulian jumped for absolute joy, giggling endlessly while grabbing her phone. She quickly dialed her daughter. Fair, Gu Chanru is getting married. Her salary is only 5,000. She can barely feed herself, let alone a grown man. This mother and daughter duo were fiercely competitive. Gu Feier refused to ever lose to her half-sister in absolutely anything. And honestly, you have to admit she was crushing it. At 23, she was already a branch manager, making over 20,000 a month, plus bonuses. Calm down, Mom. They only offered a 300,000 dowry. What kind of decent guy would ever accept that? He must be absolutely hideous, right? With her sad situation, she is just lucky a man even looked at her. Her own family wealth and career were way better. If her sister married a total loser and she bagged a handsome guy, she would win it all. Thinking of this, Gu Feier felt incredibly proud. Let us see who still dares to call me the mistress's kid. Exactly. She is already 24, so she has to settle. The loser she found is probably ugly and secretly defective. Honestly, just think about it for a second. Any guy, any decent guy with a future would never choose to suffer with her. Knowing the brutal dating market, son Yulian spoke with absolute total certainty. Gu Feier smiled widely. Mom, when her husband shows up, snap some pictures for me. I really want to see how tragic he looks. I will laugh at her for the rest of my life. Meanwhile, after surviving another exhausting commute, you finally return to your apartment building. Stepping into the stairwell, you spotted your neighbor, Ye Shu Qing, struggling heavily with a massive gas tank, stopping to catch her breath on the steps. She wore a stunning white qipao. The vintage silk looked elegant, her curves swaying with undeniable charm. Let me grab that for you, you quickly offered. This old building only had 5 floors and absolutely no elevator. Carrying that heavy load upstairs is exhausting. You step forward and grab the gas cylinder's handle. Let go. Don't ruin me. Yishukin cries out. Her lips tremble, face turning completely pale. If the Women's Federation finds out I let you do heavy lifting, they'll drown me in a pig cage. Is it that serious? You look around. If we both stay quiet, nobody will know. You try lifting the tank, but she grips it tightly. Scanning the hallway, she whispers. Careful. Walls have ears. It might look empty, but you just never know. Are the neighbors really eavesdropping? You wonder. If they see you doing rough work, they'll report me, and my life is over. To avoid suspicion, she quickly pushes your hands away. Yet, a spark of joy dances in her eyes. Just knowing you care makes me happier than anything. She glances at your handsome face, wondering who will get lucky enough to claim such a perfect guy. Who deserves your innocence? Have you decided who to marry? She asks, softly. I have, you reply. I am taking my ID card to get married right now. Shukin's smile instantly fades. After asking a few more questions and hearing that Gu Qianru is 24, she suddenly cheers up. So you like older women? I'm 3 years older than you. Wiping her sweat with a handkerchief, she calls out playfully as you finally reach the 5th floor. Husband, come out. He's chosen a wife and is getting married today. Her voice rings out, clear and melodic. For some reason, you suddenly feel intensely nervous. You stand there rigidly, deeply regretting that you just peeked at your beautiful sister-in-law's curves. Already chosen? You're quite in a rush. Li Hongliang opens the door, teasing you. Despite the brutal summer heat, he's wearing a thick black sweater. He holds a thermos filled with red goji berries and black mulberries. His face looks incredibly dull, with heavy dark circles under his eyes. His thinning hair is a mess, and his footsteps are incredibly weak. He leans heavily against the wall, gasping for breath. It's only a matter of time. All for the sake of human reproduction, you joke back. Li Hongliang looks at you with deep concern. Men are fragile. You must take good care of yourself. If she makes weird demands, like dripping wax or little leather whips, you have to say no, understand? I know, you say. Still looking worried, he pushes Yi Shukin forward. Tell you what, let your sister-in-law help you run through a quick, practical combat drill. A drill? How do you even practice that? And with your sister-in-law? Brother Li, aren't you being too open? In this world, men are never a match for women. You must practice. Clearly speaking from painful personal experience, he then actually places your hand directly over Ye Shukin's. Practice. Treat this drill like a real battlefield. Let her test if you're capable. Her skin is pale, soft, and amazingly smooth. Just touching it sends a tingling shock right through you. At this very moment, she keeps her hands lowered, lips pressed tightly together. Her dark eyes ripple with hidden emotion, shifting as if anticipating something. You're so close you can feel the sweet warmth of her breath. Brother Li, what are you saying? Please stop joking. Maybe because you've endured too many rejections in a past life, you instinctively shy away from sudden beauty. You immediately pull your hand back. Instantly, the glowing light in Shukin's eyes fades into a heartbreaking dullness. She says absolutely nothing, just shoots you a deeply disappointed look, and retreats into her room. The atmosphere turns completely frozen. You rub your hands together, totally unsure what to do. To break the awful tension, Li Hongliang coughs awkwardly. If you don't want to, forget it. Oh, by the way, I need a massive favor. Just ask, Brother Li. You owe both him and your 9 sisters-in-law for treating you so incredibly well. You open the door to let him inside. Too weak to even stand, he immediately collapses onto your living room sofa. He lets out a heavy sigh. You see it. My health is fading fast. Taking another wife will only leave her, living like a widow. So, I am literally begging you to complete my marriage quota for this year. Please? In a world with way more women than men, every guy must marry dozens of wives for human survival. It guarantees everyone has a husband. Plus, married men automatically enter the national welfare system. Benefits scale up the more kids you have. Li Hongliang married 9 women but hasn't had a single child. His welfare tier is rock bottom. If he takes a 10th wife and produces nothing, his status will drop even further. The logic is brutal. Failing with 9 wives is bad, but 10 proves total incompetence. As for his failing health, that is entirely his own fault. Official survival guides strictly advise mixing beautiful wives with average-looking ones. That way, the physical toll isn't so devastating. Smart men marry unattractive women to guarantee a long life. But not him. He married 9 absolute drop-dead gorgeous supermodels. Who could possibly survive that? He's not even 30 years old yet, but already looks just like a walking corpse. Sure, I was planning to marry a few more anyway. You agree instantly. You're not like normal guys. You possess a secret system that rewards you for every wife you take. Shocked by your quick yes, he tears up. Thank you, I really appreciate this. You have no idea how stressed I've been. Take this cash, please don't think it's too little. He pulls $30,000 from his pocket and shoves it into your hands. Brother Li, I absolutely cannot take your money. But I do need a favor. You push the cash back. You immediately state your request. Name it. Even if it's murder or arson, I've got your back. His face relaxes, returning to his usual easygoing vibe. You put on a deeply troubled expression. To be completely honest with you, Brother Li, the first wife I married, my wife doesn't earn much, and we're broke. For my future, I need a rich second wife, but they're hard to find. Help me look? Leave it to me, bro. I'll find you a wealthy beauty, Li Hongliang. You grab your ID card and head to the registry, humming a cheerful tune. You are running a bit late, but you really do not mind. A proper guy should not be too punctual anyway. He should drag his feet and be fashionably late. Playing hard to get is just self-respect. Seeing Yu Guchanru covers her mouth. Her eyes are red, totally overwhelmed with joy. I thought you were not coming, she whispers. She usually wears pants to class, but today she chose a beautiful floral dress with a lovely bow right at the waist. Her sheer stockings make her legs look flawlessly smooth, paired with elegant light brown pointed heels. It feels less rigid and a lot more playful. But what you really love the most is how her long hair falls down, soft and gentle, giving off a feeling of absolute peace. That delicate silver necklace catches the light perfectly. Silly, why would I not come, you say? You regretted it, she replies. I have no house, no car. I really do not deserve you. Whether from gratitude or pure relief, tears spill from her eyes, soaking her long lashes and rolling down her cheeks. She grips your arm tight, like a little girl refusing to let go of her favorite toy. Feeling her deep attachment, you gently wipe away her tears. I told you I would marry you, and I meant it, you say firmly. You were always handsome, but lately, you are a walking magnet. Girls have been sneaking glances since you arrived. Seeing you wipe a woman's tears leaves them absolutely stunned. One mutters, am I seeing things right now? A man wiping a woman's tears? Is he not afraid of tiring his hands out? Has he forgotten his noble status as a male? And he is just so incredibly gorgeous. Ignoring them, you pull Gu Qianru inside the registry. A clerk greets you. Sir, Madam Per, our latest rules. Gentlemen only need their IDI to marry. Ladies, however, must pass a strict wife survival test. A wife must deeply cultivate a sense of service, duty, and eagerness to please, so she can properly serve her great husband. Hearing this, Gu Qianru stiffens up. She has been single for years, barely interacting with men, and panics about failing. The clerk leads you both into a windowless room and hands her a massive stack of exam papers. The very first question reads, your husband and your mother fall into a river. Who do you save? A. Husband. B. Mother. She hesitates for 3 seconds, then circles A. You ask her why. My mom grew up in a fishing village, she explains. She can hold her breath for 5 whole minutes. I have plenty of time to save you first. You chuckle at her brutally honest logic. I will just wait outside, you say. Nearly an hour later, she passes the wife survival test with a 93. Husband, I did not get a perfect score, she says. It means I am still too selfish. I promise to reflect and do better. Her doe eyes are filled with anxiety, like a kid bringing home a bad report card. You honestly do not care at all. You just smile and say, true love is all about sincerity, not some silly exam. She looks up, deeply moved. You are so wonderful and understanding. Marriage certificate in hand, you both leave the registry and grab a cab. Soon, you arrive at her neighborhood. This is where Gu Qianru and her mother live. Stepping out of the car, you say out of habit, hold on wife. Let me grab some gifts. Absolutely shocked. She is my mom, not yours. You do not or anything. You insist it is just a small token. Under her incredibly grateful gaze, you pick up some tea, fruit, and expensive liquor. She immediately reaches out to take the heavy bags, gushing, husband, I can never repay your kindness. Let me carry these so you do not strain yourself. Honestly, carrying a few bags is absolutely nothing to you at all. But she glances around nervously. People will gossip if you carry them, she whispers. Let them talk, you say, grabbing the gifts anyway. As you walk into the complex, nasty whispers erupt all around you. Society is truly going down the drain, someone mutters. A grown woman making a man carry the bags? Absolutely shameless. Men work hard enough at home. Making him do manual labor outside is just bullying. Another chimes in. He is so gorgeous too. Why is he lowering himself like this? I have seen a lot of crazy things, but a man helping a woman carry bags. I have never seen it. With so many people pointing and staring, Gu Qianru lowers her head in total shame. You finally hand the bags over to her. Here, you carry them. Thank you, husband. She smiles, instantly relaxing. Seeing the natural order restored, the crowd breathes a massive sigh of relief. That is more like it, one says. A woman should be her man's ultimate protector. But right then, you reach out and scoop her up in a smooth princess carry. The gossipy onlookers practically drop their jaws to the pavement. A few actually trip over their own feet. You take the elevator to her 12th floor apartment. Mom, we are back, she calls out, thrilled but slightly shy to introduce you. The door swings open. Her mother takes one look at you, stumbles backward, and gasps. Knowing you were coming, she had carefully dressed up for the occasion. She is wearing a beige linen dress with geometric patterns, perfectly tailored with side slits, paired with modest brown sandals. It is a look that screams warm, casual dignity. That was exactly the welcoming vibe she wanted to project to her new son-in-law. But she never expected you to be this incredibly breathtaking. Since she could not offer a huge dowry, she just prayed you had all your limbs and a decent face. But you? You are a towering 6'1", so unbelievably handsome, you make those TV celebrities look totally plain. Daughter, is this him? She stammers it out. Gu Qianru proudly links your arms. Mom, this is my husband. Hello, auntie, you say with a polite gentlemanly nod. You glance at her mother. She looks about 45, but takes great care of herself. Her skin is glowing and her hair is beautifully permed. The faint lines around her eyes only add to her natural, elegant charm. Honestly, she must have been an absolute knockout back in the day. Being called auntie by a man for the first time, she looks completely overwhelmed, almost terrified. Oh please, no. My name is Wang Choni. You can just call me Choni. It is a very humble, down-to-earth kind of name. But as her son-in-law, calling her by her first name just feels completely wrong to you. You simply cannot do it. Auntie, how could I possibly call you that? You protest. You are right. That name is too ugly, she trembles, shrinking back like she is the intruder here. Then just call me Little Turtle. You stare at her, completely speechless. Call your mother-in-law a turtle? Absolutely not. Wanting to set some boundaries, you decide to play hardball. You put on your sternest, most authoritative voice. Auntie, are you really trying to give me orders? She panics. No, I am just unworthy. I cannot let a noble man call me auntie. It feels like total treason. You sigh, realizing this gender role stuff is crazy. Auntie, please remember that I am the man of this house now. You need to cooperate with me, okay? The moment you assert your authority, she snaps to attention. Yes, whatever you say. Son-in-law. She wipes her brow, looking at you with pure worship. She cannot believe you even speak a foreign language. To her, that simple okay sounded so exotic and noble. Auntie, here is a small gift, you say, thrilled to finally have a normal conversation. You hand over the bags. You brought me a gift, she gasps, her hands physically shaking as she reaches out, completely overwhelmed by the gesture. She ushers you inside, frantically rushing around to pour hot tea and serve a massive pile of snacks. Auntie, I am your son-in-law. Showing you respect is just my duty, you tell her. She looks genuinely terrified. Please do not say that. A man giving gifts to his mother-in-law? It completely defies the natural order. To fix her guilt, she instantly transfers $300,000 to your bank account. That notification sound is absolute music to your ears. You gave a dowry, you say fairly. Let me offer a bride price. Absolutely not, she gasps. Men do not pay to marry. That is a cruel, outdated custom that exploits men. Both your wife and her mother furiously reject the idea. You compromise. Fine, I will just provide 3 warm quilts. Her mother finally breathes a heavy sigh of relief, though she still thinks you are being far too generous. Trading 3 blankets for 300 grand? This world is going to be very good to you. Just then, neighbor son Julian strolls in, obviously hoping to mock the newlyweds, but she freezes the second she spots you. Wait, I know you. Are you that famous actor? No, wait, you are way more gorgeous than him. Your mother-in-law beams with pure pride. This is our new son-in-law. Go on. Say hello to your aunt son. You give a polite, charming nod. Hello, aunt son. Compared to your mother-in-law, this woman is slightly younger, and her fashion sense is far more aggressive. She is wearing a striped knit top, a sparkling luxurious watch that highlights her flawless skin, and a sleek navy skirt paired with bold red heels. Even with her age, she carries herself with an undeniable sharpness. You can tell she has lived a very pampered life. Hello. Wow, you are absolutely stunning. Can we take a picture? Ever the shrewd businesswoman, she pivots instantly to overwhelming enthusiasm. You casually agree, and she snaps several photos of you, her heavy, expensive perfume burning your nose. She hands you a generous red envelope before finally making her exit, but the second she gets home, she is shaking with pure rage. Her rival paid a measly $300,000 and scored a god-tier husband. What kind of absolute dumb luck is that? Overwhelmed by jealousy, she collapses onto her leather sofa in despair. Her daughter calls right then. Mom, did you see Gu Qianrao's new husband? How ugly is he? Does he look like a squashed toad or a deformed horse? Son Julian sighs weakly. Like a frog. Her daughter cackles over the phone. I knew she married a toad. No, son Julian mutters. A frog prince. She forwards the pictures. Son Julian has spent her entire life desperately trying to outshine that family. She needs to crush them in every possible category. Losing this marriage competition is a devastating blow. Holy crap, his eyes literally... He is breathtaking. Her beauty-obsessed daughter screams through the speaker. Realizing this masterpiece belongs to her rival, she wants to burn the whole world down to the ground. We lost. We lost so badly, son Julian groans in total defeat. Her daughter stamps her feet. Sabotage them, Mom. If she gets to keep that gorgeous man, I am going to lose my mind. Sabotage? They are already legally married, and they seem totally obsessed with each other. How do I ruin that? Son Julian sighs. Once a couple locks in, it is impossible to break them apart. But Gu Qianru makes a terrible salary, her daughter points out. We can humiliate them there. We still have the financial upper hand. That gives son Julian a sinister idea. Hanging up, she immediately dials the authorities. Hello, Women's Federation. I need to report a crime at Shumu Chuncheng, apartment 1202. They only paid a pathetic 300,000 dowry, and they are abusing that poor man. I literally heard him screaming in pure agony. Meanwhile, completely unaware, Gu Qianru shyly leads you into her bedroom. As she opens the door, a soft floral scent hits you. The room is tiny, maybe 80 square feet, complete with pink sheets and a cute little teddy bear resting on the pillow. The walls are covered in photos. Most feature her standing next to a girl with a ponytail. Their vibes are complete opposites. Your wife looks soft and gentle, while the girl with the ponytail looks like a cold, untouchable goddess. Her eyes practically scream defiance. Who is that, you ask? Her best friend Yunqian is gorgeous, right? Your wife Gu Qianru might be prettier, but Yunqian pulls in way more cash. When she stares with that deeply devoted look, who could possibly resist? You can't hide it. Still, with your wife right there, you can't praise her too much. Gu Qianru gets this nostalgic tone. Did you know she saved my life? You ask what happened. She sighs softly, explaining that back in middle school, they were wild tomboys. During summer break, they went swimming in the lake. Her foot got tangled in seaweed, nearly drowning her. Yunqian risked her own life, pulling her ashore. You have no idea how panicked she was, treating me like family. That kind of friendship is completely priceless. Qianru looks so sweet and vulnerable. You suddenly see this cold girl Yunqian in a whole new light. She saved your beloved wife, so you definitely owe her. Suddenly, Qianru hugs your arm. Hubby, what if you marry her too? What? Your brain totally short-circuits. Best friends forever? She's your bestie. Can't we just treat her like a sister? No, Qianru says, she has to marry eventually. You're the best man on earth. Who else should she marry? You admit she has a point, but the best isn't always the most suitable. What if we lack chemistry? Qianru brushes it off. You'll just meet and find out. She makes it her ultimate mission, pouting playfully. If you love me, love my best friend. When she marries you, the three of us will live happily ever after. Since your wife is begging, you nod in agreement. Living a good life together beats everything else. After that, Qianru acts like a total salesperson. She pulls out endless beautiful photos of Yun Qian, praising her flawlessly from every single angle. You're pretty easy to persuade. You figure you might as well marry her. One wife fetching water, the other plowing fields, all three heading home together. Quite the poetic life. Your mother-in-law is super efficient, quickly whipping up a huge table of delicious food. You take the seat of honor. Gentle mother-in-law on your left, charming wife on your right. You feel like you peaked in life. Women, you eat like a total king, devouring everything in sight. Eating well means you can work hard. Your mother-in-law praises you, her eyes full of pure admiration. She hasn't watched a man eat up close in 10 whole years. Remembering she once had a man too, a brief sadness flashes through her. Bang, bang, bang. Someone violently pounds the door. Qianru tries standing. Her mother reacts even faster, jumping up to answer it. Hello, I'm Ma Yukin, leader of the City Men Protection Squad. We received a report of male abuse happening right here. Are you two the mother and daughter of this household? Three people stand outside in full uniform. The leader is a large, imposing woman. She wears a deadpan expression, strictly flashing her fascia. Your mother-in-law panics slightly. The Women's Federation holds massive power, including independent trial rights. She definitely doesn't want trouble. Is there any male abuse happening here? Confess now and get leniency. Absolutely not, she insists. You have a man inside, right? Don't lie. My nose is sharp and I smell his charming scent. Yes, he's my son-in-law. Your mother-in-law stammers out. Can we question him? Fine, come in. Ma Yukin steps into the hallway, scanning the place like a seasoned detective. When she spots you, she freezes completely. Furious, she yells if there's no abuse. Why is he living here? Instantly, all three officers draw weapons. They whip out rubber batons, fully prepared for battle. Qianru angrily asks what they're doing. He's my husband. I didn't kidnap him. Confess right now. With one giant leap, Ma Yukin steps right in front of you. The others flank your back, forming a tight triangle. He really is my husband, Qianru cries out, feeling incredibly wronged. Ma Yukin coldly scoffs. Still trying to lie your way out of this? She pulls a small circular device from her pocket. This is an official handsome scanner. One quick scan reveals the exact score. Then her tone softens completely as she turns to you. Sir, may I please scan you? You nod calmly. The machine lights up, processing the data rapidly. It finally stops right at 99.9. Everyone in the room gasps in absolute shock. Ma Yukin grows even more self-righteous. With a score like this, there are barely 5 in the universe. He could easily marry a billionaire heiress. If he wasn't kidnapped, why would he be stuck in this filthy roach motel? She feels completely justified now. Qianru turns pale, entirely speechless. She knew you were good-looking, but not universe-breaking handsome. After that reality check, she suddenly feels it too. You really don't belong in their cramped home. It's like a literal prince stepping into a depressing slum. Your mother-in-law feels even more ashamed, lowering her head and nervously twisting her shirt. Captain, Ma, they aren't lying. I'm here voluntarily. You step up to defend them. Both women look incredibly grateful. Kidnapping a man means the death penalty, so you basically just saved them. After confirming it multiple times, Ma Yukin finally puts her baton away. She lets out a dramatic sigh. Such a low-tier life for him, it's unheard of. Scanning the room suspiciously, she demands the exact bride price. 300,000, the mother admits nervously. Ma Yukin looks at you with deep pity. In today's dating market, a perfectly average man gets at least 880,000. A guy like you should start at 10 million. Pausing, she chokes up and glares sharply at your wife and mother-in-law. Underpaying a bride price is clear psychological abuse. Did you ever stop to think how heartbroken he feels when other men get millions? Wiping away a tear, she shouts furiously. He's only 18, barely an adult, just a fragile little flower, blooming just to be violently abused by you two. Is there no justice? Is there no law at all? The room feels like a tense hostage rescue. Your mother-in-law looks like a guilty criminal, staring quietly at her shoes, her long dress highlighting her curvy figure. Guilt washes over her elegant, mature face. Qianru gets teary-eyed. It's not that we refuse to pay, we just don't have the money. Ma Yukin shows zero mercy. No money, go sell your blood. Why aren't you selling blood? She fires off questions rapidly. Like a ruthless machine gun, she keeps blasting them. Are you scared of a little pain? Worried about your health? If you're so scared, don't bother getting a husband. She completely crushes Qianru's confidence. Qianru whimpers softly, weakly protesting that selling blood won't earn enough. Unwilling to accept this pathetic excuse, Ma Yukin raises her eyebrows in total disgust. She slowly inspects the tiny 3-bedroom apartment, shaking her head. Finally, she drops some heavy advice. Where there's a will, there's a way. After selling blood, is selling a kidney that hard? You two just lack sincerity. Now even Qianru falls completely silent, deeply reflecting on this. She's right. Why didn't I think of selling a kidney? Doesn't my gorgeous husband deserve that sacrifice? Ma Yukin totally dominates both women. She keeps pushing hard. Without enough dowry, you can't even host a wedding. And the house? A son-in-law living with his mother-in-law will cause drama. Your mother-in-law suddenly steps up. They can keep the house. I'll just sleep under a bridge. You knew this world was crazy, but not this crazy. You simply can't listen anymore. Mom, what are you saying? This is your home. You quickly explain everything to the captain. My wife and I are extremely happy. My mother-in-law treats me wonderfully. There's zero abuse happening here. Stepping away from their protective circle, you grab both women's hands for moral support, terrified they might actually sell organs. The three of you stand perfectly together. You figure Ma Yuken will back off now. Instead, she looks at you with profound mystery. Sir, very often abused victims don't even realize they're being abused. We heavily suspect that's your case. What you overlook, we must handle. For example, your wife is just a high school teacher. She barely makes cash. How can she afford to pamper you? Without money, a beautiful man easily withers away. You firmly state you can just work hard together with her. Everyone violently snaps their necks to stare at you, looking at you like an alien. Ma Yukin feels even more validated. Listen to what he just said. If he wasn't horribly abused, why would a man say something so utterly absurd? Women are always the providers. Joint effort? Absolutely ridiculous. You freeze, realizing you broke a massive taboo. In this crazy reality, endless women throw stacks of cash just begging to provide for a man. A working man proves his wife is a total failure. Plus, husbands often get stolen by other women at work. Naturally, married women fiercely ban their men from ever getting a job. Son-in-law, please don't do anything foolish. Your mother-in-law cries out. Immense shame washes over them. Your mother-in-law weeps. I have a nursing certificate. Tomorrow I start working as a caregiver to guarantee his luxurious life. Ma Yukin nods. A top caregiver makes $20,000 a month. That's over $200,000 a year. It's not a fortune, but it buys a few luxury items. She glares at Qianru. And you, teacher? Will you just watch your precious husband drown in poverty, doing nothing? Qianru panics. I'll make my rich best friend marry him. We sisters will provide for him together. We'll give our husband the perfect life. More hands make lighter work. Knowing her own limits, Qianru desperately summons backup. Sure, Yun Qian might not be the biggest earner, but she's stunning and gentle, offering top-tier emotional support to keep you happy. Plus, the two sisters can motivate and push each other. Seeing their drastically improved attitude, Ma Yukin scribbles into her notebook. That's actually a solid plan. However, we need proof you can actually pull this off. So, we'll conduct a follow-up visit soon. We'll check if you're just all talk. If his quality of life fails to improve rapidly, the Federation will forcibly terminate your marriage. Qianru looks totally fired up. We welcome the supervision. She's already calculating the brilliant financial details in her head. Yun Qian spends a fortune on rent and food outside. Marrying you saves all those costs. Plus, Yun Qian has solid savings. Since Qianru is totally broke, she figures her friend can just cover the entire 500,000 dowry. Right before leaving, Ma hands you something. Ma Yukin passes you her card. Sir, if you suffer any physical or mental harm, call us instantly. Honestly, we highly recommend you marry several more wives. Failing to spread your elite handsome genes would be an absolute tragedy for the entire human race. It concerns the welfare of humanity. You nod with deadpan seriousness, promising to work hard at it, and bow politely. Ma Yukin and her squad finally leave. Knowing they can't afford the massive dowry, but completely unwilling to lose a perfect man like you, they make a plan. Your mother-in-law literally moves under a bridge overnight to free up the master bedroom, working days to fund your lifestyle. Meanwhile, Qianru secretly begs her best friend to become your second wife. Faced with her relentless pleading, you simply agree. You and Yunqian stroll down a quiet river path. It's around 5 p.m. Yunqian suddenly asks why you settled for a poor wife. Poor love is like a banana. It gets bruised and turns black fast. You just shrug lightly. I like her. Simple as that. She looked up. Most guys only care about money. Non-materialistic men are incredibly rare. Marrying someone like that would be a dream. But Qin Shou, even though Qianru tried to set us up, I can't marry you. If you were an ordinary guy, I might have married you. But you are just too handsome. This triggered a deep sense of inferiority in her, reminding her of an unspeakable secret. Yun Qian pulled away from you slightly and said, I am a cursed woman. I can't be selfish and risk your life for my happiness. You have no idea what she means. Can you explain? Her hands fidget nervously, her eyes darting away. I am in now. You are truly curious. Why do you say that? Yun Qian presses her lips together. A deep blush spreads down to her collarbone. Her nails dig into her fair skin. This is her darkest secret. Biting her lip, she taps her phone and pulls up a picture. This is me. She turns her head away, showing you the screen. You stare at it, completely confused. Then you turn and see her hands tightly crossed on her lap. Suddenly, it clicks. I get it now. But I honestly don't see anything wrong with it. In fact, I think it is a unique beauty given to you by the creator. Yunqian looks up in pure disbelief. But everyone says it brings a curse. That is hilarious. It's not like you are actually a wild tiger. How could it? Only a fool believes that stuff. You laugh off the superstition completely unfazed. Yunqian feels an immense weight lift from her chest replaced by sheer relief. Setting down her guitar, she drops to one knee, smoother than silk. Chin Shou, you might be the only guy alive who doesn't look down on me. Can I marry you? The surprise hits you out of nowhere. You stand there, completely stunned. But Gu Qianru, as your best friend. Is this really okay? Bursting with new confidence, Yunqian smiles. Absolutely. I love big households. I have 7 sisters. We always fought for food at the dinner table. It was fun. Why does that sound so wrong? We fought for everything. You grab a drumstick, I grab a wing. Slowpokes only get bones. It is so lively. Imagining that chaotic, bustling household, you let out a long sigh. All right, I accept your proposal. Thank you, hubby. Completely overjoyed, Yunqian jumps straight into the air, screaming at the sunset. Hey, I finally have a husband. I found my true love. My hubby and I are never separating. He is the wind, and I am the sand. We will travel the world. Most importantly, she can finally experience real romance. After shouting out all her excitement, she grabs your hands, looking dead serious about the future. Hubby, please forgive me. I can't marry you today. I don't have a house, a sports car, or a dowry. I will not let people laugh at you for settling for a broke wife. I am going to get rich. I will buy you a massive mansion and a flashy supercar. Then, I will marry you in style. Hearing her absolute sincerity, you feel deeply moved. With a girl this driven, why not build a future together? You and Yunqian part ways just as the sun sets. Walking home, you dial Gu Qianru's number. Hey wifey, come over tonight. Let's watch Lust Caution. You still haven't seen it, right? I heard the lead actor has incredible skills, and the leading lady looks absolutely stunning. Hubby, I really want to. But my mom says without a formal wedding, the neighbors do not know we are married. Moving in together could ruin your reputation. But what if I miss you? Just hold on a little longer. Once the ceremony is done, we can be together openly. Then, I won't just watch movies with you. We can game and play cards all night. Knowing you have to play by the rules, you agree. Then you remember something. Wifey, I just saw Yunqian. She proposed, but she wants to grind and build wealth before we tie the knot. Gu Qianru instantly turns into an alert cheetah. That little brat. She just wants a bigger dowry than mine. Hubby, I need to go scold her. Hanging up, she immediately dials Yunqian. You sneaky little girl. Are you trying to crush my dowry score? Managing a marriage empire starts right here. Come on, a $300,000 dowry is just too cheap. Yunqian teases, completely ruthless to her best friend. Gu Qianru's chest heaves with pure rage. I introduced him to you. Without me, you get nothing. You should be on your knees thanking me. Thanking you for what? My hubby and I were soulmates in a past life. He is, my husband, our husband. Unable to win the argument, Xian Rao pulls rank as the first wife. Even though we are not officially wed, you are part of this household now. Rich women always turn evil. So, hand over all your cash to the family committee. Qianru acts incredibly smug. I do not even have a real job yet. Where would I get extra money? I am not spending it on myself, anyway. I am buying our husband an RTX 5090. Qianru quickly checks the market prices online. A 5090 costs nearly 19,000, and that is after the recent price drop. He gave you his paycheck and handed over all his savings for the dowry. You only have a few $100 left. That buys absolutely nothing. Yunqian immediately bounces right back with total confidence. You haven't bought our hubby a 5090 yet, have you? He is still stuck on an ancient 4090. How tragic. Since she wanted to buy a gaming gift, Qianru had secretly asked around. She knew you didn't have one yet. She heard it offered a massive performance boost. With that graphics card, hubby can run AAA video games flawlessly. I will send you the cash right now. We cannot let our man suffer just because we are broke. Moving fast, Yunqian starts furiously tapping her screen. Ding! The money arrives. Qianru checks the balance, $25,642. Something feels weird. Why all the random change? Do not send everything. Keep some cash for groceries. Starving your best friend to buy a 5090 GPU is a bit brutal, right? But little did she know, Yunqian could not care less about starving. She argues back with fierce passion. You are totally wrong. We can eat weeds by the road and drink water from the gutter. Us girls will survive anywhere, but we cannot neglect our man. He does not even have a 5090. Damn it. Living like absolute royalty, wearing silk, feasting on expensive meals every day, sipping sweet nectar and eating fancy delicacies. Aren't you ashamed of such sickening luxury? Even though Qianru had no idea when her friend became a poet, she actually thought the rant made total sense. As the old saying goes, an unhappy husband is a complete disgrace to his wife. If he cannot enjoy a simple video game, what is a wife even good for? Still, the 5090 only costs 19,000. That leaves over 6,000 extra. Qianru tries sending the leftover money back, but to her surprise, Yunqian instantly unleashes a fresh wave of aggressive logic. You absolute fool. A 5090 by itself is totally useless. He needs a top-tier CPU to unlock its full potential. They have to match perfectly. You do not want our man's game freezing right when he is about to get a crucial headshot, do you? We cannot let our precious hubby suffer like a noob. Now Kianru is actually getting anxious. I am heading out to buy it right now. Total surprise. Go fast. Isn't the tech market way out on the 4th ring road? That round trip takes forever. If it gets too late, we might ruin his sleep schedule. Got it. I am out. Picturing your face light up over the new graphics card, and CPU gives Kianru endless energy. The rushing wind outside sounds sweeter than a grand symphony. Meanwhile, over at Ruida Entertainment Group, right after the quarterly financial meeting, Chairman Bai Zhenyao walks back to her office, aggressively massaging her temples. Because she is currently unmarried, her corporation was slammed with over 20 million in penalty taxes this year. The board of directors is absolutely furious. She desperately needs a husband. But finding a guy I actually like is impossible. She groans to herself. With a heavy female-to-male ratio, a rich, gorgeous CEO like her has endless options. If she snapped her fingers, 10 guys would line up instantly. Her standards are just terrifyingly high. She wants a soulmate who can make her completely obsessed at first sight. Her absolute Mr. Right. Well, daydreaming fixes nothing. Time to test my luck. Mind made up, she summons Secretary Jiang. Let's go. Escort me down to the matchmaking park. Riding in her sleek Maserati, they pull out of the corporate garage, instantly drawing desperate stares from countless men. The male-to-female ratio out here is 1 to 30. Even if a guy does absolutely nothing, living comfortably is guaranteed. But hitting incredible wealth, that is brutal. So naturally, most guys treat marriage as a golden ladder, a glorious second chance at life. They all desperately want to marry a billionaire heiress and strike it rich instantly. Sadly, naive rich girls barely exist anymore. Most elite heiresses are ruthless sharks. They already have limitless cash, making their romantic standards completely insane. Without a doubt, Bai Zhenyao is exactly that type. Go do me a favor and withdraw $100,000. PIN code is 66. The Maserati idles outside a local bank. Zhenyao casually hands her platinum card to Secretary Zhang. Moving with perfect corporate efficiency, Zhang grabs the massive stack of cash, stuffs it inside a designer handbag, and hops back inside. Chairman Bai, everything runs on digital pay now. What is the physical cash for? You will see. Zhenyao smirks, radiating pure confidence. Too intimidated to push it, the secretary stays quietly seated. Soon, they roll up to the bustling matchmaking park. The crowds are absolutely chaotic. After skimming a few guys' dating profiles, Zhenyao starts rolling her eyes hard. What is this garbage? Acne everywhere, 5'2", pushing 200 pounds. He wants a luxury car, a mansion, and an $800,000 dowry, demanding 60 pounds of solid gold jewelry. Is he building a diamond-encrusted throne? Absolute delusion. And look at this guy, proudly claiming he has a toxic temper. Then go to therapy. Why brag about it? Wow, this one is even worse. He claims he is a slow burner. We are speed dating, you moron. Should I toss you in a fire to warm you up? First? And I genuinely cannot stomach this one. He actually bragged about breaking 500 women's legs, claiming it makes him a total alpha male. My blood is boiling. Speed dating profiles truly expose this twisted world. These entitled men casually list all their toxic flaws, like having a nasty temper, being emotionally unavailable, enjoying violence, or refusing to shower. Meanwhile, the women desperately list their absolute best traits: wealth, elite degrees, high salaries, cooking skills, promising to work flawlessly, and never fight back. They are begging for male validation, just craving any crumb of approval. Naturally, that puts us girls at a horrifying disadvantage. These guys actually think they are literal gods. Muttering in pure disgust, Zhenyao drags her secretary deeper into the park. Up ahead, chaos erupts. A massive mob of teenagers, married women, and wealthy grandmas are all wildly waving their smartphones. They are aggressively snapping photos and screaming, "He is gorgeous! Let me get one picture. This photo will sustain me for decades. I will literally bark like a dog for him." Where do I apply? Zhenyao instantly connects the dots. There is definitely a top-tier handsome guy trapped inside. But the crowd is totally blocking the view. Even bouncing on her toes, Secretary Zhang cannot see a thing. She is jumping around helplessly, like a frantic little bunny looking for milk. I have a solution. Gripping her designer handbag, Zhenyao strides toward an empty patch of grass. She pulls out huge stacks of crisp red bills and launches them straight into the sky. Cash rains down everywhere like gorgeous falling petals. Secretary Zhang instantly catches on and screams at the top of her lungs. "Over here, look up. Somebody is throwing free cash." The crazed mob spots the floating money and immediately stampedes over. After scattering $50,000, Zhenyao casually slips through the breaking crowd. Finally, she spots a young guy wearing dark sunglasses, slouched heavily against the concrete planter. With his hunched posture, he definitely looks like a total lightweight. But what actually hooks Zhenyao's attention is the massive cardboard profile sign propped right next to him. He had a flawless face, clear eyes, a perfect nose, and striking features. Broad shoulders, a lean waist, looking completely majestic and out of this world. Absolutely incredible. He is drop-dead gorgeous. Bai Zhenyao was practically drooling over him. She wanted to pull him into her arms instantly and call him sweetie. Li Hongliang proudly whipped out a piece of paper. Handsome, right? Well, our standards are high. Not just any woman gets to touch my little brother. Your house needs his name on the deed, and the car must be a BMW or better. Plus an almost 2 million dowry. Here's 50,000 cash. Let's find a quiet place to talk privately. Bai Zhenyao handed over her bag. Li Hongliang checked inside and grinned instantly. All right, while the others are distracted looking around, the three quickly left the park for a restaurant. After a few rounds of drinks, Bai Zhenyao got straight to the point. I can meet all your demands, but I have two conditions. First, I must be the main legal wife. Second, we have to do a trial. Merit. A trial marriage? My brother is barely 18. He is pure and untouched. He can't just test drive a marriage. Is he a fresh cucumber? Bai Zhenyao laughed. Li Hongliang blushed. You get the idea. He is young and innocent. This trial marriage demand was clearly Bai Zhenyao's carefully calculated move. She immediately offered a sweetener. If he agrees to the trial, I will pay 500,000 up front. If things do not work out, you keep the money. Suffering a little to earn 500,000 did not sound too bad. If it were Li Hongliang himself, he would have agreed instantly. But he was handling this matchmaking for you, so he didn't dare overpromise. Can I ask why a trial marriage? Bai Zhenyao smiled coyly. Men these days are lazy and physically weak. They barely exercise. If we don't test things out, and I discover he is useless in bed after the wedding, I would be stuck lonely forever. Makes sense. Rich ex-folks really know how to live. They just use their wealth to filter out risks normal people have to take. I need to ask my brother. I can't just agree right away. Of course. Once Li Hongliang left, Bai Zhenyao turned to Secretary Jiang. Investigate that creep. Get me some video footage of him. Understood. I will arrange a tale immediately. By 7 tonight. You had just gotten home when your sister-in-law's voice came from the door. A show. Did you eat dinner yet? You rushed up to open it. Not yet. Thank you. Yi Shukin stood there holding a tray with 4 home-cooked dishes. Green pepper potatoes, sliced loofah, scrambled eggs, beef with onions, and a cold pork salad. Next to them sat a steaming bowl of perfect rice, plus a bowl of tofu soup. You had burned a lot of energy today and were absolutely starving. You helped set the food on the table, but right before digging in, you noticed something weird. Why are you wearing gloves? Actually, 2 weird things. Yi Shukin was not just wearing clear gloves, she was completely covered up in long sleeves and pants. She usually loved wearing pretty dresses. I figured you would think I was dirty. I made all your food wearing these. Her face was cold, her eyes fixed on the floor. She turned to walk away. What are you talking about? Why would I ever think that? You immediately grabbed her arm. You had to clear this up. If you don't, then why push me away? Her eyes flickered, her face looking completely miserable. I know I am damaged goods. I am not pretty. It's perfectly normal that you look down on me. Dirty look down on her? Completely confused. Your mind raced back to this morning when Li Hongliang literally pushed her onto you, calling it some kind of practice drill. You had refused him. Was she actually mad because you said no? You squeezed her hand slightly to show you were serious. I have never looked down on you. I said no because you are his wife. I cannot cross that line. Do you understand? A friend's wife is completely off limits. To you, this was just a basic universal truth. Yi Shukin looked up, her wide eyes flashing with total confusion. Why can't you? Wait, what? Her question left you completely stunned. Could it be that in this weird world, crossing that line was perfectly fine? Obviously, we cannot just throw out basic morals. Yi Shuqin finally seemed to understand. You are talking about ancient rules. Sure, back then it was like that, but not today. Idea? Just to get me pregnant, Li Hongliang is planning to hire outside help. It costs 100,000 bucks a pop. Being a time traveler, you honestly had no clue how things worked here. You grabbed her other hand too, holding on tight. She stepped closer to you. My older sisters lost absolutely everything in their business. 2 other sisters got laid off. 2 more are drowning in family debt. The youngest 2 lost their savings in the stock market, and Li Hongliang has kidney failure. We still cannot have a kid. Our social welfare tier keeps dropping, and we can barely survive anymore. Even if I go out and work, I cannot earn enough. Yi Shukin let out a long, heavy sigh, her voice laced with this deep, unspeakable sorrow. Your blood ran entirely cold. Because men were treated so well here, it never even crossed your mind that his family was facing such a brutal financial crisis. Even with all that happening, Li Hongliang still had her bring you meals every single day, completely refusing your money. A massive wave of guilt hit you. Why didn't you guys tell me any of this? Why? You felt utterly crushed and angry. Angry because you actually had cash. Not even counting the massive dowry, you had over 100 grand saved up, yet the people closest to you were drowning. What good would telling you do? Your savings would not cover it. Plus, his pride is huge. He would never touch your money. He figured the only way out was for me to have a kid to bump up our welfare tier. But you said no. He practically begged you on his knees this morning, and you still turned him down. At this point, she could not hide her bitter resentment anymore. Staring right into your eyes with a totally broken heart, she snapped, "You are just so noble, aren't you?" Bam. Bam. You felt like you had just been blasted by a Gatling gun. Staring back into her frightened eyes, you realized you had to win her over right now. You could not keep clinging to your old world's morals. Otherwise, years of friendship were going to shatter into pieces. Your biggest mistake was completely misunderstanding how this society actually functioned. It had built an invisible wall in your mind. But right now, your only real option was to adapt and survive. After snapping at you, she yanked her hand away and stormed off. But right as she reached the door, she grabbed the handle and stopped. Her silhouette was stunning. Wait. She was giving you a chance. Filled with regret, you bolted over and pulled her back. Let me go. I would rather starve than take your pity. You look down on me. You think I am disgusting. I hate you. She desperately just wanted to escape this heartbreaking room. But even a total idiot knew this was not the time to let go. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Then came a super professional voice. Hello, sir. Your delivery is here. Delivery? You froze. You definitely had not ordered any food. But what really made your stomach drop was how incredibly familiar that voice sounded. You had definitely heard it somewhere before, but you just couldn't put your finger on it. You rest. I will get it. Yi Shukin instantly switched back to her cheerful, eager self and happily trotted over to open it. Standing right outside was Gu Qianru, clutching a brand new 5090 graphics card and a 9950X 3D processor. She was practically bouncing with excitement. Before the door even fully opened, she shouted, Hubby, I brought you a present. Then she saw Yi Shuqin and froze. Who are you? Her big smile completely vanished. Hearing the word hubby, your sister-in-law looked like she had just been caught stealing from someone's cookie jar. Looking totally embarrassed, she shouted back into the apartment, A show! Your wife is here for you. You were so screwed. You hurriedly threw your clothes back on and practically sprinted to the door. Seeing Gu Xiao standing there covered in sweat, wearing a bright yellow delivery uniform, holding the latest graphics card and processor, you felt like absolute garbage. That is my neighbor's wife. They have been struggling to have a kid. You were stammering like crazy, sweating absolute bullets. You had seen this exact scenario in a million viral videos back in your past life. The classic wife catches the mistress setup. Knowing how crushed Gu Qianru was about to be, you couldn't even look her in the eye. But instead, she beamed a glowing smile. Hubby, you are amazing. Our wedding was already so exhausting today, and yet you are still out here, helping people out. Wait, helping people out? Was that seriously her logic?